Hello. Today, this is a new chapter. It is about cutting and pasting a senior thesis. Cutting and pasting from a senior thesis. It is written by Brent Staples. Cutting an N, not S, right? This is A-N-D, N. Cutting and pasting a senior thesis is written by Brent Staples. It is about a critical analysis regarding plagiarism. The writer's friend told him that plagiarism was becoming a greater problem in the Eastern University. The students cut and paste from the internet in their writing. The author's friend says that every student in every class do the cutting and pasting in their writing. The student's originality is not found in their writing. It is nothing but a plagiarism and it must be discouraged. The students think that what they do as a plagiarism is not a big deal. This is not Deal. D-E-A-L. Oh, the spelling is wrong. D-E-A-L. Please write it D-E-A-L. They think that it is not a big deal. This is not Deal. This is D-E-A-L. Deal, right? They feel ashamed to go home with the result of being failed in the exam. They want to get passed in their exams at any rate, and they do not mind in cutting and pasting in their writing. This does not help the students in becoming critical and analytical in the education system. They try to find the right answer at any rate, but they do not try to improve their minds. They can read freely through the internet for their knowledge, but in their written assignment in class, they must be watched. The students' papers must be checked, the materials taken from the internet and elsewhere, and this should be discouraged from that point of view. The new students must be taught explaining what plagiarism is and how to avoid it. Discussion about plagiarism tend to focus on questions of ethics and morality. Hardworking students fail in the exam, and those who are not serious about this study also get good marks through the use of internet and cutting and pasting. Cheating undermines learning, and it is to be discouraged. Junior high school students too cut and paste from the internet instead of producing their own writing, their own knowledge. Writer says that youngsters are in practice of plagiarism. When they write, they do not attempt to write the original sentences. They think of making the ideas from the internet. They become like a rap musicians with the reference from the works of others. As the writer says, this culture, not cultures, culture only. There is a K. S is more. Please write only culture. This culture, not S. This culture, not plural one. This culture brings the pervasive mind, and it turns out difficult to turn back. The writer says that parents, teachers, and policymakers need to understand that it is not the matter of personal expression. This cutting and pasting is not the matter of personal expression. It is not the personal comment. Education is the best that teaches people to think critically and originally. If the students do not think critically and originally, that is not a system of education. Creativity and originality would be the best method of enhancing the educational training. Cutting and pasting is not the process of learning and getting the real knowledge for the students. This is how the writer has really captured the ideas of the youngsters or the present people who are quite lazy in learning. Writer says that in young generation, people are just not learning. They are not getting training, educational training. They are copying and then cutting and pasting from the internet. They are using Google's and other resources from the internet, and they copy and they paste in their writings and present as their own home assignment, as their own work, and it is nothing more than plagiarism. This is just copying from others and making their own work as if their own work, on creativity. In this sort of activity of doing, what happens? The students are not learning. They are not advancing their minds, their thoughts, their beliefs, their learning process. They are making rather it dull, meaningless, worthless, useless. So the writer says that education system must be original thinking process, critical thinking process, creativity, originality, and then coming out of the box and creating own sentences, own thoughts, own ideas, own values are much more important in the process of learning. But many of the students copy and paste from the senior thesis. They find the thesis, they find the works from the senior students, and then they copy and paste, and they make it as their own knowledge. But it is wrong. Teachers, parents, and policymakers must understand it and must discourage such activities of cutting and pasting system of learning in academia, in education, in university, and other creativity, work of creativity. So the writer has exactly presented the system, how it is being degenerating, how the education system is going backward, not forward. It is becoming useless and almost meaningless. This sort of system is not a good system of learning. This is how the writer has presented the concept of plagiarism, exactly doing the work of copying and cutting and pasting. That is not good at all. Thank you.